Why is my foot wet? Hello everyone, how's it going? It's Nadie, and today we'll be testing out the Lisa Eldridge Foundation. As you beautiful people know, this is about the products, not the people behind them. Any tiff you may have with them, please cast it away because this is a channel of positive energy. Okay? Thank you. Oh, my little lash extensions, how you doing today? I hope wherever you're at in the world, you're having a marvelous day so far. I myself am doing wonderful. It's a beautiful, bright, sunny day outside, and I'm just soaking it all in. And I accidentally bought a full year of Instacart deliveries, so when I went outside to pick up my order, this little baby was on the doorstep. Honestly, way more excited about this than any of my groceries. But confession time, y'all. I had actually never really followed Lisa Eldridge. The only time that I really heard her name was from my fabulous friend, Rose. I am so bad at being a YouTuber. I don't really follow that many people that I should follow. I don't know of many people. And so I finally followed Lisa Eldridge, and I am obsessed. I totally get why everybody loves her. Obviously, this is my first ever product from them, and I really like that when I tagged them on Instagram, they took the time to respond. Like, not many companies do that. So that's really cool to me. Anyways, this was quite expensive. Let me see how much she was. $61 USD. That's very, very expensive, but they do have a fuck ton of shades. I'm pretty sure she's like an independent brand, right? It's not like Marc Jacobs or Fenty where it's like a kendo company and then they just slap their name on it. I think it's her, right? But this goes very, very deep. It goes very, very light. And there are a fuck ton of shades to choose in between. I almost got the foundation brush, but it was actually more than the foundation. It's $76 and I need a brush like I need a fucking hole in my foot. But even if she isn't an independent brand, 40 shades is pretty fucking impressive to come out with your first foundation launch. Like, that is incredible, and I know that's kind of like the standards minimum now. Like, Fenty really blew it out of the park. You go, girl. And so I am curious about this because typically when you have to launch like 40 shades, that can run you like millions of dollars. So a lot of times companies will private label, and you're basically just getting like Maybelline or something in a different packaging. But I'm hoping that for this price tag, we get something that feels like it's worth $61. By the looks of it, the packaging is beautiful, so let's open this little baby up. Oh my god, it's like Gaga coming out of her egg at that award show. Okay, they do have the directions right there, so let me quick read those. They say prep and moisturize your skin well before applying, which I was gonna do. I just got out of the shower. I just washed my face and exfoliated. The only thing I have on is the fat water from Fenty. I will definitely be slapping some good shit on. They say this can be applied with fingers, a sponge, or a brush. For light coverage, begin with half a pump. How are you supposed to know what half a pump is? Apply to the areas of the face that need evening out and blend well. Build as desired. Okay, sounds pretty simple. Wow, this packaging is really nice. I guess this has nasturtium extract. Mother of fuck. It's a plant-derived biotech that's been shown to boost oxygen levels in the skin to ensure a healthy glow day after day. So I love that this actually has skincare in it. It has green tea extract and Philomexol. What? Philomexol. You know what? I'm just done reading this. This is too fancy for me. Oh my gosh, it even comes in like a little velvet holder. Wow-wee. I got the shade number 14. Y'all, this packaging feels like a sex toy, not gonna lie. It could totally be a butt plug. For that price, it should be. But it feels very, very luxurious. It looks luxurious. I don't think I've ever seen packaging quite like this. And oddly enough, it's actually ergonomical. There's like a thumbprint right there. That is really nice. Like, you can put your thumb there and hold it like that so it doesn't go flying, I guess. Maybe that wasn't on purpose, I don't know. But whether or not it is supposed to be ergonomical, she's cute as fuck. Very luxurious feeling. Like Armani, Marc Jacobs, Dior, who? Hold on, I need some of my protein shake. Doesn't this look like sewage water? So tasty. The last thing I'll add before we dive into this, the website says the final finish is neither dewy nor flat matte, but something skin-like and in between. So, satin? Maybe? All right, let's dive into our skin prep. I've been going in with the Nimia lately. I've been loving it. I don't really use it for anything other than makeup prep, like just day-to-day skincare. This is a flop. But underneath makeup, that is where the fuck this is at. And I like to take a nice big dollop of it, and then like 4 or 5 drops of the serum. Mix those together, rub them in my hands, and here we go. Oh, but the smell is so strong. Also, I did kind of keep my beardo a little bit longer today because anytime I review these face products like a foundation, I do like to see if they play well in face fur. Some foundations don't, that's totally okay. Not everything is made to go inside a beard. But believe it or not, people with facial hair do wear makeup, and a lot of people have very thick peach fuzz that emulates facial hair like this. And some foundations like oxidize in facial hair and they just get caught in it and it looks nasty. So it's not something that I hold against a product, it's just something to test. Now I'd like to go in with my Laura Mercier, yay, Pure Canvas Primer. This is the blurring one. And these products with this is by far the best fucking combination that I've ever used in my entire life. These just really make products look their best on my skin. Otherwise, I feel like I'm sometimes a little bit inconsistent because if I go in the sun, my skin might be dry and peeling that day and I won't really know until I apply a foundation, or my skin might just be a little bit oily that day. And so this gives me like a perfect canvas every time. Very lovely. And then I like to go in with a little cooling eye stick. I don't know that this does much for me, but I hear people rave about this thing. I guess it does kind of make my eyes feel a little bit better. And I do, I guess, notice that my under eye makeup applies a little bit better. So I don't even know why the fuck I said it. But it might also be like a placebo effect. I don't know. It feels good applying it. All right, we are very zoomed in. Nothing to hide here. To apply this, I'm gonna go in with my Hank & Henry Christina brush. This is actually more of like a contour application brush, but it applies foundation really, really pretty because it's so dense and you can just push it into your skin. Oh, that was a lot to say. So I'm gonna try going in first with that. If it doesn't look good, we'll try different methods. They did list a few, and let's just start with half of our face. I don't even know if this is gonna be an okay shade match. We'll see. They said to start with half a pump. I don't know how to gauge half a pump, so I'm just gonna go in with a full one and pick it up. Ready? Maybe? Oh, there we go. Okay, so I actually think that's probably half a pump. Let me just squirt another one. There we go. It has a fabulous, very thick texture. It's not runny at all. It's not watery. It's not separating. It's just kind of chill in there like the poo emoji. And I am saying on the website that it is fragrance free. It doesn't have any smell, even like a cosmetic-y smell. There's nothing. Oh, but I do see this oxidizing in the air, so that's kind of interesting. I guess we'll see how it plays with what I have on. And I put about that much on the brush, so let's just start right up here. I'm gonna kind of dot it on my face. It's not like full coverage, but it is evening things out, I suppose. I'm gonna actually pick up the rest of what's on my hand. I do instantly see it oxidizing slightly on my skin. I don't know if that's because of the skincare products, or if it's because of the primer, or if it just oxidizes. It oxidized on the back of my hand, and I don't know that I put any of like the pre-makeup stuff on the back of my hand. It was mainly on my palms. So maybe this just oxidizes. Well, try to blend it around in there. My primer was pretty tacky, so it's kind of just sticking. But here's the side with about 1.5 pumps, and gosh, that got so fucking orange on my hand. Wow. Which is odd because my face doesn't look that orange. I don't really see that much of a difference. Do you? I guess like this area looks a little bit more even. I'm gonna take another squirt. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you can see the difference in color between that and that, but it is huge. I'm gonna take this on my fingers and spread it around. The website did say you could layer, so let's just try this method. Maybe that brush soaked up too much. That could totally be. And it might just be that this foundation doesn't like the skin prep that I used. I have no clue. I do know that this does not play well in beard fur. It just kind of pills up and it really looks like I'm wearing foundation. It's like really, really oxidizing around there. Let me get closer. Do you see like this area, which is pretty common for a lot of foundations? Like if they were to oxidize, they always oxidize around there. So I'm not that surprised, but is this a beard or facial hair friendly product? Not at all. But everywhere else, it does look a bit more even. It's not that orange, I don't think. Do I still notice that big of a difference between this side and this side? No. And remember, this side has now 2.5 pumps on it. And for this price, I feel like 2.5 pumps should last me like 2.5 days. I'm gonna go in with one of these little poofs. These are what a lot of times makeup artists will use instead of a sponge. I prefer these over a sponge. They just give me a more flawless looking finish. So if this doesn't look good, then we will go in with a sponge, because I don't know if this brush soaked up a bit of the product, and that's why I had to go in with so much, but it usually doesn't soak up that much. Okay, so once again, let's take one pump on the back of this hand. Oh, You know what I don't like? There isn't a base on this, which is kind of annoying when I want to store it, but it does look pretty sleek. Okay, so let's dip right into here and start applying this to the other side. Yes, it is instantly turning orange, I'm seeing. Yeah, that just like disappeared. It did even things out a good bit, I will say that. I like the way that it looks with the primer and everything, but it is extremely minimal coverage. How do we feel about this shade? Let's go ahead and pull up the matchometer. I don't know, because like my neck seems as though it's a different color, and this side does maybe look a little bit more bronzed or orangey, but the coverage is also so freaking minimal that I can't tell if it's my correct color. I guess let's just go on the safe side and give this like a 7.5. Only because it's oxidizing and it could probably get to be way off, but where it is now, it looks okay. So yeah, 7.5 I think is fine. I really didn't notice any kind of application difference between my hands, between the brush. So I'm just gonna keep going back in with the brush, and this time I'm gonna take 2 pumps because there is no coverage. I don't know why it's so sheer, if maybe I'm doing something wrong, or if it truly is just a more sheer formula, which is okay. I'm definitely digging products lately that don't really look like I'm wearing makeup. They just make my skin look a little bit better. Ooh, you know what? That looks really pretty now. It doesn't really look like I'm wearing anything. It just looks like I'm healthier. I love that for me. It did an okay job at covering the redness around my nose here. I can still kind of see it in person, but it's not that bad. You'll have to let me know if you can kind of see where the foundation stops down here, but I'm gonna try to drag this down here just so it doesn't look super fucked up for the video. As far as the finish on the skin, I do think this looks very, very pretty. I think my main issues here is just the amount that you have to use, because on my face right now is 2, 4, like 5 or 6 pumps. And when they said to use a half a pump, I'm like, bitch, where? But if you are looking for super light coverage, maybe half a pump would work. But if you're wanting to build it up, it absolutely builds up phenomenally. Phenomenal? Is that right? I could see this probably being a little bit of an issue for somebody with drier skin. Even though I moisturized and exfoliated, it is a tiny bit dry and textured around my dry and textured areas. But if you really moisturize beforehand, I feel like this would be okay for you. But otherwise, this is very pretty. It does look like my natural skin. I am quite pleased. Worth the price though? Not sure about that. And I am seeing that around my nose area, it's starting to already pull apart, but I'm also not sure if I just spread it a little bit too thin around that area. Like, I'm tempted to go in with a little bit more, but I also know that I'm gonna cover that area with my concealer. Actually, you know what? This would be a fabulous foundation just to wear on like no makeup days with mascara, maybe a little blush, or just this on its own. So I think I'm actually only gonna like do up half of my face, and the other half I'm just gonna leave by itself. This seems to be the side where it's slightly pulling apart, so I'm gonna leave it just like that because that is a thing that could happen with anyone. I'm not trying to sabotage this at all. I just really want to put it to the test. Maybe there's a little bit left on here that I could just tap on. No, it's pretty stuck into place. One thing that I do like about this formula is once it's on, it's on. It doesn't seem like it's creasing. It feels like it dried down as though I'd put a powder on top. I'm not even certain that you would have to powder this. Maybe if you were in a warmer climate, you would. But from where I'm standing right now, it feels perfectly fine. So let's go in with our Consquee and the rest of our products on one side. For that, I'm gonna go in with the Lancome Concealer right over here, just a few drops to brighten. I know this looks like a lot, but trust me, this stuff is very minimal coverage, and I pretty much wiped almost all of it off. And we'll just tap this shiz out. Well, those seem to play together pretty okay. The longer that I have this on my skin, though, it is looking a bit dry and powdery, so that could be the primer that I used. Maybe I need an even more moisturizing primer. They did say to really hydrate beforehand. It's not to the point where I don't like it. It's just that I do have drugstore products that are probably 1/10 of the price that look as good, if not a little bit better. However, over the day, those products might crease up a little bit more. They might sink into fine lines, and they might not wear over time quite as flawlessly as this. So even though this is expensive, it could be worth it at the end of the day. So I'm not gonna shit on anything yet. We are just gonna do our thing and see how she rolls. pixels. Okay, so that is all blended out. And then just on the one side, I'm gonna go in with my contour. This is Hank & Henry's Hazel Teen. We'll just take that on our Lele Posh Cosmetics brush. I don't think I've used this color before, so we'll see how it is. But I'm mainly just wanting to see how a cream contour plays with this product. Sometimes foundations will melt no matter what kind of cream I use, but so far this looks heavenly. Oh my fucking tits. Once everything is on, I actually don't even mind the light coverage. Like overall, this side of my face really does look pretty, but I do also have the concealer to thank for that, and this is a really beautiful cream product, so I can't necessarily judge how somebody else's products might work, but what I used today, this looks beautiful. Nothing is lifting up, everything is staying down as though I had powdered it beforehand. Very, very nice. Sweet tits, Mary Jane. And then just under the eyes, because creasing for me is kind of inevitable, I'm gonna take a little bit of Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder and just push it right under there. And then a tiny bit on my forehead. Everywhere else does seem pretty fine, so I don't think I need to powder it. Ooh, however, powdering that really does add like an extra little blurring touch. Now my forehead looks like it's airbrushed. Maybe I'll just powder my forehead on the other side and see how it is versus the rest of my face at the end of the day. Maybe I'm going crazy, I don't know. But that just made it so smooth looking. Wow. Doesn't my forehead look freaking great? Of course, if you added up everything that was on my face, it'd be like $400. Does this look like an expensive face? But still, I'm to the point in my life where if it's expensive but it makes me look really, really good, it's worth the price. Like, yes, I am a total cheap ass and I love that journey for myself, but when it comes to filming and being in like 4K and HD and all that shit, I do want my skin to look as beautiful as it can for you. And so this is definitely a very camera-friendly product. Would I wear this foundation every day? No, because I'm really not out there to impress everyone, and so I'll just stick to my Maybelline. But for like special occasions when I don't have a beard, oh my god, there's a long gray right there. Fuck you. For special occasions when I'm filming, I would wear this. It seems to play very, very nicely with my lens. Okay, let's finish this look up. For blush, I'm gonna go in with this Laura Mercier Strawberry. I have no idea if this will match me. I just found it in my bin and I wanted to use a product from them. We'll place this right up here. That is doing nothing. We need a deeper one. Instead, we're trying Rosé. That's pretty. I guess I kind of look like an Annabelle doll, but that works. It's fine. Then to bronze my tried and true Hoola. Everything is still playing together very, very well. In fact, the more powder that I apply, the smoother it looks, which almost makes me think that this would be a very good foundation to use as like a base and then go over it with another powder foundation if you're wanting like maximum coverage, because otherwise, if you're like a light medium to full kind of coverage person, you're gonna run through this in no time. I give it like a week or two. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of highlighter. This is Becca's, I don't know this color. Oh, R.I.P. Becca, you will be missed. Although I think Smashbox either partnered with them or bought their formulas because they do still have their OG highlighters. And then I just got these Laura Mercier caviar sticks. I'm kind of intrigued by them. I have 100 of them, but I've never really used them. This is the color Plum. So I'm just gonna take this right on the outer corner and kind of tap that on and use it as a base. Maybe this is way too fucking much. I don't know. We'll see. With a floofy ass brush, we'll just kind of stipple this around and blend it back and forth. Wow, I might have to use these more often. Thank you, Laura Mercier. Let's take this lavender colored one and just place that in the inner corner. Sweet. That's literally like a 10-second look. Just kind of build it up right on the outer corner and right on the edge. Once again, fap this shit out. Okay, well, I definitely applied way too much and brought it down way too fucking far. That's my own bad. But this seems to be a cool product. I just have to get used to it. We will ignore the hell out of that. And add a little bit of mascara. This is Caviar Volume by Laura Mercier. That is the look. Very minimalistic, very blah. I'm kind of disappointed, but my face looks okay, so that's good. Actually, this probably would be really pretty with like a false lash and maybe a wing. So this is what we look like. Gonna be real. I think it's really, really pretty. More so on this side with the other products added on top of it. This side is acceptable. It's not really doing it for me price-wise, but like I said before, I think the biggest deciding factor will be how it looks at the end of the day, because my drugstore products, they don't always wear like 12 hours. I'm not gonna wear this for 12 hours, but even after like 6 to 8 hours, they sometimes look a little bit fucked up. So if this outlasts those, then this could totally be worth it for me. So I will see you in just a second at the check-in. Hello, so I thought I'd show you how this looks in more natural light. My one eye looks fucking ridiculous. I love it. So I think this looks really, really pretty. pretty. I was just upstairs in one of my bathrooms looking at it under those kinds of lights, a little bit more harsh and yellowy. And this to me is one of those foundations that from like 2 feet away, it looks really, really pretty. But then once you get really close, you can see a bunch of texture and it looks a little bit dry in certain areas. It looks like I'm wearing makeup. That could be because I added 5 fucking pumps, but otherwise I wasn't gonna have coverage. And even with like 2.5 pumps on this side at least, I can still see all my freckles, all my flaws. It didn't really do that much covering, just a little bit of balancing and evening out the skin tone. So if that's the kind of product that you're looking for, you'd probably really like this, but I'm still kind of on the fence because my drugstore products really honestly do look better upon first application. They don't oxidize, they fuck with my beard better, they're way freaking cheaper. But then once I added other products to this, like the concealer, the powders and all that, this did kind of transform and look absolutely freaking magical, blurred, airbrushed. And this is fucking makeup. It could play differently with absolutely everyone. Make sure you watch a couple other people's reviews. But if your skin is anything like mine and you use similar products, I don't think you're gonna be disappointed, but I don't know that you're gonna love it quite as much as you think you might, or quite as much as the price should allow you to love it. But see, like on my forehead, it really didn't do that much concealing. This is kind of like dramatic lighting because it's a fucking iPhone. But like any texture that I have, it is just really enhancing. But then like once you pull away a little bit and you're a few feet away, it does look beautiful. So you kind of got to gauge how you're going to use this, what kind of lighting you might use this with, and how your skin is, and especially how your skin prep is. I'm not sold on this, but I'm certainly not going to dog it yet. I'm going to give this a few more hours. It's only been a little while, so I will see you at the end of the day. So I thought I'd come on here and show you more what it actually looks like. I'm still under my studio lights, but this is a little bit more realistic. Like we can see the redness right there. It's kind of breaking apart. All of this texture that's just everywhere. Oh my goodness, this side looks hella dry. And so to me, this just doesn't look like a luxury ticket item. So yeah, I'm not like fully convinced. Look, you can just see like an orange line right there of oxidizing. And still, all my freaking freckles, it doesn't even look like I have anything on this side, does it? It just looks more textured as though I were wearing a foundation. Also, you guys want to see what I see when I'm filming? This is what it looks like. How fun, right? So yeah, there are a ton of lights that I'm under. Now y'all can see why things don't necessarily look the same up here as they do downstairs, like in natural lighting. And we are back. Oh my goodness, I sat outside and the allergies are real. So I haven't worn this for quite as long as I wanted to. It's only been about maybe 5 or 6 hours, but my eyes are watering so bad. I just want to take my makeup off. But as far as this looks, where the fuck is my mirror? Okay, so I actually think this looks pretty much the exact same. I haven't really sweat that much. I was out in the sun for a minute, but it wasn't hot out. It's fucking Michigan in November. Could be sunny and 45 and we'd still be out there in shorts, soaking it up before the snow comes. But I don't think my opinion has really changed much from my last check-in. So I guess let's do our final thoughts. This definitely abso-fucking-lutely oxidized on my skin. I don't think it's as noticeable under these lights, which kind of makes me wonder if this has some titanium dioxide in it and has a little flashback. Where are the ingredients? Oh yes, okay, so this does have titanium dioxide and it's actually pretty high in the ingredient list. The second ingredient is dimethicone, which is a silicone product. So if you have a silicone allergy, stay the fuck away from this. But I think that's why it looks so much better under all these lights versus natural light, because all of these are creating a beautiful kind of flashback, like a flashback merry moment. And it's making my skin look very airbrushed, very, very pretty. But in person, I'm quite orange. I can see exactly now where I missed in spots on my face because this has changed so much. It might not be that dramatic on camera, but in person, it is. However, that could have been the products that I prepped with, but they did specifically say to moisturize, and so this could happen to anyone. But also, I'm not convinced that it was the moisturizer that made this product oxidize because it got really dark and orange on the back of my hand where I had no product on. So the negatives, it is very, very minimal coverage. You do seem to have to use quite a literal ass ton just to get to light medium coverage, and paying $61 for a product that just gives you a light wash of coverage, that's not really in this mama's budget. If it's in yours, you might like it. It does seem to wear pretty well over time. You just have to get over that initial oxidizing hump. It doesn't really seem to be sticking to my little rinklets too terribly. It's not making me shiny throughout the day. In fact, it's staying pretty matte, especially where I powdered it. But does it look as though I'm wearing makeup once you're like a 1.5 feet from me? Yes, you can tell that there's something on my skin. It's not natural, but if you're any farther away, at least without glasses, it looks pretty good. So with the positives, it feels like a luxurious experience. There are a ton of shades to choose from, but I'd recommend, because they do have free returns, to order a couple shades a little bit lighter, because depending on the products that you use or just your skin, it might get a little bit deeper and orangier. I liked how pretty it looked with just a couple pumps on. If you're wanting super minimal, like CC coverage cream, then maybe this would work for you. If you have fine lines, this might work well for you as well. But overall, is it worth the price for me? Not a fucking chance. I can't wait to order more products from this brand, but this being the first one, I'm not terribly impressed for the price point. If this were like maybe a $30 foundation, which even that is kind of high for the amount of coverage that you get, yeah, well, yeah, I think 30 or like 29 would be better. I do think that you're paying 1 for the name, 2 for the packaging, and 3 because I'm assuming it's more of an independent product, so it's kind of expensive. But for me, the only way to really make this work is to combine it with a bunch of other products, because this side to me does look beautiful. This side, it looks pretty, but no prettier than something that I'd get with like my Maybelline. Still very pretty, but $61 pretty? How about I let y'all be the deciding factor with that one? Make sure you're turned all the way up to 4K and let me know down in the comments below. Do you think this side looks like a $61 foundation? Shit, for $61, I could just go get like a chemical peel and not even need this. Although for $61, it would definitely be a back of the van sketchy kind of face peel, and probably not the kind of facial that I'm thinking of. Do I recommend it? I guess I recommend trying it if you're curious about it, but is it a product that I think is a holy grail? For me, it's not. Again, pretty, yes. Perfect, no. But yeah, I'm not thoroughly disappointed. I'm just not super pleased. So yes, there we go. Also, let me know, did you try this? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Did you kind of have the same thoughts that I had, where it's just kind of like, okay? I love hearing from you, and kind of with your help, other people are able to gauge whether or not this is a good investment for them. You can't just go based off of one person, but hopefully my input can kind of guide you in a direction that you want to go. Anyways, thank you so much for being here. I love having you. And y'all know my little outro thing. If you'd like to support me and my channel just a little bit more, please feel free to join us over on Patreon. It's patreon.com/poplux. There you get videos a day early, you get Patreon only content, plus best part, it is cheap, fun, and fancy just like me. And like always, please be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell down below so that you're notified anytime I upload a new video. Don't forget my newest collection of highlighters, including Black Ice, which does change from black to white, will be available again soon at thepoplux.com. Also, my latest album, Kiss of Fame, is available everywhere online that music is sold. Thank you so much to everyone who's supporting them. Comment down below, let me know what you thought of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter at officialnady, and you can follow me online at thepoplux.com. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you again soon. Bye!